gather around to talk theology, politics, and the sweet banjo sound. Kevin Thompson leads the way, teacher and preacher too. With a men's quartet, the harmonies ring true. Gather around the mic, let's find our way, singing praises, strumming banjo strings all day. Amputated Baptist Podcast, where we all belong. Join the harmony, let it carry us along. With a passion for faith and a banjo by our side, we don't beat, we don't hide, we take it all in stride. From parables to politics, every topic on the table, let's harmonize together, let's make it stable. In chord progressions we find our peace, singing praises, strumming banjo strings all day. Amputated Baptist Podcast, where we all belong. Join the harmony, let it carry us along.
Theology, politics, and a little bit of banjo. You're listening to the Amputated Baptist Podcast. And now, here is your host, the Amputated Baptist himself, Kevin Thompson.
Okay, welcome back to the podcast. We are driving, and to my right, you're normally to my left, is the one and only pastor, author, blogger, the man that does it all, Ray Jewell. So, Ray, welcome back to our podcast.
Thanks, Kevin. It's always good to be here.
We used to do road trip podcasts all the time.
We used to, yeah. Something happened to both of us along the way.
Yeah. Well, okay. I was going to make a joke there, but I decided not to. Sometimes I have self-control. And other times,
I've never been accused of that.
So Ray's going to be giving me directions as we go.
All right.
And it's pretty much, well, actually, you know what? I know how to get there from here.
I figured you probably
Believe it or not.
That hard.
Okay, so we just got back from a No Kings rally. Actually, we just got done with dinner, with lunch.
Yes.
And Ray paid.
Yeah, no, I think Kevin's still recovering from the shock.
It was a good burger, though.
They do great work at the Eagle Inn in Janesville.
The Eagle Inn in Janesville. So go and, not today because they're closed now.
Yep.
But go and eat there.
No.
Yes. And so we're not being sponsored by the Eagle Inn yet. Unless someone's listening.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we just got back from the No Kings rally in Janesville, and it was a pretty big event.
Yeah, for it being as cold as it is, there's a lot of people out giving up their Saturday. And, it was impressive to see so many people.
Including us.
So
we are two, is it safe to say we're two Christian conservatives?
That would be a safe thing to say,
okay.
As long as they don't put national.
Yeah. So we're two Christian conservatives, not Christian nationalists.
Yeah.
We're two conservative Christians in a sea of liberals.
Yep.
So, Ray, why were you there?
Well, partly I just wanted to see what it's all about. I keep seeing the stuff on Facebook about it. And, I had a pretty good idea of what, but I just wanted to experience it some, and ran into some people that I knew, which didn't surprise me.
Not some people. I think half the crowd knew you there. we couldn't walk 3 steps without someone saying hi to Ray.
No, that's not quite true. Yeah, there were a lot more people there than half a dozen.
Yeah, so Ray is like a little mini celebrity there.
The emphasis on mini.
But, so, yeah, I was there because, again, I as a conservative, I disagreed with a lot of what I heard. But I agree with the idea that I'm sorry, I think Donald Trump has some major issues.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is I think he's very authoritarian and overstepping his bounds. We haven't really talked about the war in Iran on this podcast yet, but the Constitution, in my mind, is clear that you need to receive congressional approval before declaring war. And that's what, I mean, a war. When you're bombing another country and it's gone on for weeks, I don't know what else to call that.
Right. Whether it's declared or not.
Right. And so actions like that and other things you've heard on this podcast before. So, Ray, what were your thoughts on the rally in general?
Well, they're pretty organized. They had music lined up. They had people to run the sound and other aspects of that. They had several speakers that have a position in the government one way or another, except for the lawyer that
Yeah.
I discovered that lawyers, when they say in conclusion, they'll go on even longer than pastors will.
Yes.
And then we found out later that all the speakers were supposedly limited to 3 minutes. This guy must have gone for 10.
Yeah, it was quite a while. It was quite a bit.
Anyway, but all in all, I was impressed. The speakers knew what they were talking about, and what was the line Ann Rowe used that was so good?
Oh, what was it about? When you turn on the light, the cockroaches run.
Oh,
or something like that?
Yeah. And I probably won't be going to another one, but
Right.
I think it's just I do interact with several of the people there, and there are probably half a dozen that I have interacted with before, because I think you, Kevin, and I both have the idea that we can't really have a conversation with the other side unless they're interacting with them.
Right.
It becomes a shouting match if we don't get to know them as people. And
So these people are people.
They're
Wow.
people.
People made in the image of God.
Right, and that's my emphasis. My reason for associating. And I've been doing this for years now because I think it's just important that we have a better understanding of each other and where we're coming from, and, showing that we're not ogres or racist or whatever else some people would label other people.
And it's interesting because there's a lot of people in this group that we're just not going to agree. And there are some who are going to label us no matter what we do. And I get that.
Yeah.
And no, I don't know if I'm woke or not. I'm sure there's somebody who wants to give me that moniker. But I realize I don't consider this to be compromise in the bad sense of the word.
Right.
I still stand by my biblical convictions. I am pro-life 100%. I believe in the lordship of Jesus Christ. I believe in the inspiration of Scripture, and I'm not going to deny any of that. I'm against a lot of things these people are for. In fact, we heard that today. But we live in a country where I think our founding fathers set up a government where you've got to interact with people you disagree with in order to get things done.
Exactly.
And that doesn't mean I have to
agree with them about everything.
But it also doesn't mean I have to be a jerk about the things I do.
Right.
Stand for.
I think that if we can agree on human decency, that would go a long way to strengthening the political climate that we currently have. I mean, growing up in the 50s, and I was 5 years old in 1960, so in the 60s and stuff, I saw more interaction between the two sides of the aisle, and was it Tip O'Neill and
that's when I grew up. Yeah, when I grew up, it was Reagan and Tip O'Neill, very two polar ends of the political spectrum. But they'd say after 5 o'clock we're friends,
right?
And they can figure out. They made the government work,
right? And obviously the government's not working. Did they even get the bill passed yet? to keep the government open?
Well, the government. Well, we haven't funded Homeland Security, so TSA isn't getting paid. Border Security isn't getting paid. ICE isn't getting paid, which is causing a whole bunch of problems at our airports and whatnot. And we've had Democrats who have stepped up and said, "Okay, we will fund everything but ICE. Let's do that." And the Republicans have agreed, but Donald Trump has said no. And that's where my issue is. I'm a conservative. I believe in limited government. Again, I'm a social conservative. I'm a fiscal conservative. But I believe Donald Trump has done a lot of damage to our political system. And I want to stand up and say that. And our current climate where everybody is so cloistered, everyone is so divided, I think it goes back to Donald Trump. And I'm sure there's things before that, but this man has no respect for other people, does not believe in forgiving or loving his enemies.
Right. That just, and to me, even the greater problem is Christians.
Yes.
Are on his side. So you're okay with him saying things like that, where he doesn't believe in forgiving others or being a money.
And that's where I believe they're compromising. They're compromising their Christian values because, he's made some great choices to the Supreme Court. But I'm not willing to give up love your neighbor for that.
Right.
I'm not willing to give up watching your language for that. I'm not willing to give up a lot of, even our Constitution.
Yeah.
It is, well, I can go on and on and on. But
and
so that's why I came here, because I wanted people to know, as a Christian conservative, I am against a lot of this.
Well, and your T-shirt or your sweatshirt caught some attention today too. No King but Christ, and you had several people compliment you on that.
And I wasn't sure how that was going to go.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I mean,
I wasn't sure if I could get stuff thrown at me or not, but
but you didn't. And
Mandela Barnes, liberal, very liberal candidate for governor, liked my shirt. In fact, we're going to have an interview with him.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
So, let's do that now. I've got we did several man on the spot interviews with Mark Spreitzer, State Senator, Yusuf Adama, who's been on this podcast, Beloit City Council, and Mr. Mandela Barnes, running for governor. So I'll play those clips here. I'm here with Senator Mark Spreitzer and Supervisor Philip Gorman, both the happy couple. So we're at the No Kings rally. Why are you guys here?
We're here because Donald Trump keeps breaking the law, and he's hurting American families, and he's hurting the entire world. He's invaded 2 countries illegally, started an illegal war with Iran that is having impacts on the price of gas here in America, on our troops, on the people of Iran, and he doesn't appear to have any plan on what to do next. He's invaded American cities with ICE and murdered American citizens in the street. People have died in detention centers, ripping kids away from their families. This is not what we want to see from our president. It's un-American, and we need to speak out about it.
Philip, how about you? What he said. Perfect. All right, it's weird that, I'm a conservative, but I'm out here for the same reason. It's Donald Trump has brought us together.
I think this is a 75-80% issue. If we can all come together and recognize that, this is not a normal Republican president. We can all disagree about various policies, but that's not what this is about. It's about our basic values. It's about the Constitution, and it's about, what we need just every day to make it as Americans.
All right, well, thank you for your time. Yusuf Adama, Beloit City Councilman, you've been on our podcast before.
I have.
And you haven't gotten rid of me or canceled me yet, so I want to ask you, why are you here at this No Kings rally?
I'm in Barnes because I think it's really important, one, as a elected official, we're supposed to be servants of the public, and this is somewhere where the public is, so it's somewhere that we need to be in serving. I think this is a really important moment right now. It's not just like a Democrat or Republican or partisan thing.
Right.
I think we need to bring dignity back to this country in a way that is missing in a lot of walks of life, and I think one of the best ways to do that is to be around each other in community with each other and remember that we need to love our neighbors more than we hate our enemies. Like, we shouldn't be running our movements on what we just dislike. We should be running on what we want to see change.
Absolutely. It's interesting that we are on opposite ends of the spectrum politically, but we're both here and both agree on this.
Absolutely. We're both respectful people. I think that's what draws us together.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
Ray, we're back.
Oh, we're out.
That
was quick.
Yeah. Any final thoughts as we wrap up this short little podcast here?
Well, in this country, the way to change things is through elections.
Yes.
And we have an important one coming up. It's nonpartisan. It's local elections for city council, school board.
Non-partisan. I'm using our little finger quotes for that.
No, it's
Yeah.
When you get somebody getting a particular party's endorsement,
Yeah.
in a nonpartisan,
And I don't have a problem with that per se.
well, not really.
But it's just funny, in a partisan election, all the Democrats vote for one person, all the Republicans vote for another. But no, regardless, it's still very important.
Yeah, in this election, at least in Janesville, the city council election is more about the haves and the have-nots. And it's Republican and Democrat.
And again, we want you to vote for Reese Wood, by the way.
Right.
And I'm looking at a sign for Cassandra Pope.
Yes, definitely. Cassandra and Reese are the ones that I would definitely going to be voting for.
And did you know that Reese Wood has earned the Amputated Baptist podcast endorsement?
I did not know that.
Well, that's going to be coming out this week.
Okay.
So,
Well, it better be since it's next week. It's the 7th.
So yeah, and in Beloit, again, it's city council, it's school board. I'm going to put my my thoughts on that. Tom Morgan for city council. Jim White, I like, even though again we're different politically, but I think he's a good guy who wants to help some people, and he's promised to help me with my diabetic needle issue. So you got to vote for him. I need that. But anyway, I'll be putting those out this week.
Remember, there's also county supervisor.
Yes, county supervisor. And
becomes that I hadn't realized until I read something about how important the county, because they're the ones that control a lot of all the roads and the emergency and sheriff's department. And
so we've got Connor Powers just running for. We interviewed him earlier, and Kim Nightingale's a friend of mine. She's running for re-election to the county board. And she's been going to my church, so I really appreciate that. Okay. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot going on there. But you got to vote. You got to make your voice known.
And already you can, for the April 7th election, you can do absentee.
Right.
You go to the Janesville City Courthouse or the City Hall, and they'll let you vote there.
Right.
Absentee or early. I suppose you can still request a mail-in ballot, and then the election itself on April 7th.
April 7th.
I think with all the issues that are arising, the biggest issue, of course, in Janesville is the data center.
Right. We did a whole episode on that with you and me and Reese.
But so I think that there may be more people involved in this election. If there's not, I will be very disappointed.
Right. You don't want to disappoint Rachel. You don't want to disappoint Santa Claus.
Exactly.
Otherwise, Christmas is really not going to be fun.
We've got a coal mine up there in the North Pole that gets used often.
All right. So I'll put out some of those websites for you to look at and see. And hopefully, I was disappointed I wasn't interviewed by a reporter or anything today. But maybe our faces will make the news.
You forgot your hat.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. It's not that I forgot it. I couldn't find my Amputated Baptist podcast hat, but Ray is wearing his.
Yeah.
And so Ray is representing the podcast. I, the host, am not. So I feel deeply ashamed. I'm just wearing a Janesville Jets hat since I figured I'd be in Janesville.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing my No King But Christ shirt, so I hope that counts for something.
Well, that definitely counted for more than that.
I was
Nobody said anything about the hat.
No. But I was talking with Vivian Creekmore, and I told her what I should do. You know, there's a joke about, or the assumption that all these protesters are they're just getting paid by George Soros to be there.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd print out fake checks from George Soros with the Amputated Baptist podcast info on it. Like, here's some Soros cash. But I didn't have time to do that. I'm pretty sure I don't have the money to do that. But anyway, our podcast grows when you talk about it.
That's right.
So share this around.
When you talk
You,
about
the
it.
listener, the three that we
do all
have.
the talking, but you need to talk about it.
Yes. All right, so we better wrap this up because we're at Ray's house. We're sitting, parking out here, and people must think we're weird sitting out here in our car.
Not in this neighborhood.
But, okay.
They're not even concerned about us at all.
All right, amputatedbaptist.com. You'll find all that stuff there in our show notes. So thank you, Ray. And hey, if you're not doing anything on Easter Sunday, show up to Afton Community Church.
Yep.
Afton Road in Afton.
Right in the heart of Afton.
Yeah,
Can't miss it.
I'll put a link to there to that on the podcast as well.
Actually, tomorrow and Easter Sunday, our children are going to be doing something in the service, and I always like those because usually there means there's going to be more people there.
Right. And you've got a But God series going on.
Well, eventually, yeah.
Oh, eventually, okay.
The Sunday after Easter, I'm going to begin that. Finishing up the 7 I am statements in the Gospel of John that Jesus uttered.
I am the resurrection.
The resurrection will be on Easter Sunday.
See, there you go.
And this Sunday, it's I am the true vine. Actually, I'm looking forward to that one. Well, I've looked forward to all of them. But this one, we had a guy when I was a pastor down in Illinois, a town called Putnam, that would graft trees, apple tree branches together. He had 4 or 5 kinds of apple on one tree. Best apple cider I've ever tasted.
Interesting.
When he made it from that tree. And he had several trees like that.
If I lived in Putnam, this podcast would be titled "Putting Around in Putnam." All right, we better get going.
There wouldn't be a whole lot of room to putt around in. It didn't have it.
All right, amputatedbaptist.com. Check it out. Thanks, Ray, for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Singing praises, strumming banjo strings all day. Amputated Baptist Podcast, where we all belong. Join the harmony, let it carry us along.